Boo.
Hello.
Good evening. How are
Three
you all doing?
is a magic number. Who sang that? Does anyone know? I forgot the name. How you doing, everyone? How you doing, Age?
I'm good, good. How are you doing?
Good. I'm not too bad, thanks.
It's a good
Cold,
song.
cold evening this evening. Oh shoot!
Yeah.
I forgot to fill up my hot water bottle. I got it here somewhere. I have to fill it up in a bit. Oh, that's it, D-Wit. D-Wit's got it. Bob. Uh, how
Dora.
do you Doris? Yeah,
Dora. I don't know.
Dora. Yeah, Bob Dora. Three
No
is a
more, no
magic.
less.
Was that the original?
I
D-Wit.
think so. De La Soul did a hip hop version remix.
Yeah, I heard all of them, but that was the best one.
So tonight we are doing what are we doing? Gematria.
So Gematria, social experimentalist says I am an expert in Gematria. Really? Well, you got to come up in a bit when we stick the link out and help me understand all this numbers and words and somebody that knows Hebrew uh, could be an expert. And Danny, he knows Hebrew. I think it's Hebrew. Yeah.
I shared the picture or what we're talking about tonight anyway.
Oh, here we go.
I think. Yeah.
So we got 4 bullet points this time instead of 5. Why is that? Why did you pick only 4?
I don't know. I did it the last show as well, I think.
Yeah, we did it for the last 2
I think we're gonna get
long
into like the fifth one and be like, oh, one more to go. So if it's just 4 now, we can talk in great detail about 4 in that space.
Before we no, let's just carry on. Let's just carry on. We deal with the chat later. So the history of Gematria is the first bullet point that we're gonna look at. Second one is Gematria codes. I had a hard time looking at these. I said to you, Age, this all gave me a headache, looking at words, looking at numbers, looking at words, looking at numbers, looking at numbers, 333, 666, 777. Someone can probably explain it to me. Like all these videos, they're explaining with all of these emojis and moving pictures and diagrams and all of that stuff. Just making my head all dizzy. Someone can come up and please explain Gematria codes. And there's so
That
many
video,
different
we got a
ways.
good video as well. That little short video, that's a good one to get people started, I suppose, if you don't know much about Gematria. Or even if you're an expert, it's still a good video, I suppose.
What's headache in Gematria? Oh, that's a good one. That is a good one. we're gonna have a someone's gonna share the screen going into the discussion, and any words that come up like headache, you can search into the Gematria calculator. So
But
different
first,
methods. Sorry,
but
Age, go on.
first, I was going to say first, you got to like read out who's here, man, before we actually go into it.
Say that again.
First, we got to read out who's here. Do the register.
I'll do the register. Oh yeah, we'll come to that. Let's finish what we got going in the chart. So we've got different methods. This I got a few noted down, but there's so many. There's so many methods of Gematria.
I thought there was just 3 like main ones though.
Well, that's what I got, but there's out of the 10, I only wrote 3 down. But
And assigning numerical values to names. That's a big one, I suppose. That's kind of where it started from, wasn't it? From 8th century BCE, was it? You were saying?
is it 8th century? Yeah. Well, I got 8th century. Maybe it goes back even further. Because you
King
got to
Sargon.
remember. Yeah. It was a lot to take in. I kept hitting a brick wall when it came to all the numbers and the words. But yeah, what do you want to do the register this evening? So the way the register works is the guys in the chat, the viewers, if you all bash the like button and put 1 in the chat, and Age Case will read out your name.
So this evening we got UK Lady, we got Lalita, we got Age Case, Local Experimentalist, we got Matty England, Cage Reality is in the house. Who else we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
A
People
big up
still
the
asleep.
UK Lady.
Yeah, I think that's about it for now.
Matty England, big up, big up. How's your mate, Brendan? Cage, hello mate. He's an Cage. He's also an expert in Gematria. Maybe we can have him on as well as a guest. Maybe he knows a different method. Danny, social experimentalist. He said that he's also an expert. So maybe he knows one method and Caged Reality knows another method. Yeah.
Yeah.
UK Lady, you shared the stream. Fantastic. Mrs. J, good evening. Oh, we
I
got
think like what I was saying earlier was what would be the use of Gematria in That's my main question. I'm still trying to get my head around that. But maybe someone will explain that tonight, hopefully.
We've got Lalita here as well. Hello, Lalita. Oh, look who's showed up. We've got another expert in Gematria.
Miss J.
What, Miss J? Yeah, Miss J. But Audio Oracle, he is proper into Gematria. He links all the words that the media say, and he puts it into his calculator or whatever he does, and he gets these numbers, 777 666 333. It's always these numbers. Yeah. So maybe he can come on, and maybe he's got another method, or maybe or explain how he looks at things. Maybe he can also explain, maybe everyone can explain, how did Gematria creep up on them, for them to know about Gematria.
Indeed. Batman, evening.
What is local experimentalist in Gematria? I don't know. I'm having a guess here. 336. Oh, there's a question I'd like to ask before we get on to history of Gematria. Is the 12 steps to heaven, is it you have to complete 12 things for you to go to heaven? Is that how it is? Can someone explain if I've got that right?
That I don't know. Local in Gematria is 94.
That's a good question, Dewey. Where did it start, and why did it start? Age, do you have any idea?
We were saying, didn't we think it started around 8th century? What was his name? I just said the word a minute ago, didn't I?
Well, when you say 8th century, because you spoke about this, we spoke about this behind the scenes, and
Yeah.
you said it's the 8th century BCE, because
King Sargon built it to
King
correspond with the
Sargon
numerical
II.
value of his name. That was it.
Yeah,
He built a wall.
but that
The
was
Assyrian Empire.
in the 8th century. So if he used it then, it must have been there
Around, yeah.
for him to use. So
Yeah,
must
definitely.
have been around longer than that. Yeah.
But then there's other, like, I don't know what you'd call them, mathematical methods, or like Pythagorean traditions and numbering, different sort of, which came earlier.
Yeah, this is it. See, I'm no expert on this. Age, do you want to stick the link in the chat and we'll see what guests we have and we'll let them on one by one. So Gematria comes from the same root as the word geometry. Is that true?
Couldn't tell you, man.
So what is Gematria? A Kabbalistic method of interpreting the Hebrew scriptures by computing the numerological value of words based on the value of their constituents letters. Yeah. But I don't like is Gematria a form of translation to translate the language into other languages so that other languages understand.
Have you got that video? Because the black and white video, it's about 2 minutes long. And it kind of goes into the Fibonacci effect and how it could even be a coding for like nature. I don't know. Certain words mean certain things and they're linked. Matty England says it's a code like A equals 1, B equals 2. Yeah, pretty much. And Tokes is the man who would probably explain it a little bit better than.
So Matty England has said it's a code like A is 1, B is 2, and so forth.
Yeah, and you've just got to learn the code.
So here we go. Let's watch a video. It's 2 minutes long. Let's see what you viewers make of this. Hello, Mrs. J.
Oh, hello.
So, Token, I didn't understand much watching the video. What does the video explain?
It's trying to talk about like Hebrew as all the alphabet has a numerical value to it. So there's like a hidden code in their language, in the alphabet, which explains like how the mother and the father representing 1 and 2 equals 3 to be the child, or I think it was 44. So they're just trying to like work out, that they found like these meanings in the numbers due to the language that they speak. I think the other video probably explains it better. Let's do that other one again. I'm going to pull that one up.
What is Gematria?
Yeah, that's the one I'm going to put.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're gonna need to play that as well. Mrs. J, hello.
Hello, lovely.
How you doing? You okay?
Yeah, I'm in my chair, mate. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm in my comfy chair.
Before we lay it down. Tolkien has got a video, another video to play, and this is called "What is Gematria?" Here we go.
Hi, this is John Elias, and today I'll be talking about Gematria, what it is, and more importantly, what it isn't. Stay tuned, and I'll be revealing at the end some never-before-seen secrets of theistic mathematics.
So what is Gematria? Basically, it's when letters stand for numbers. For example, in English, the word number equals 73. The basic operation of Gematria is when two words are equivalent. Words that are equal are thought to share a hidden meaning. We have depictions of Gematria in the ancient graffiti of Smyrna. This may be the first archaeological Christian reference to Gematria. The depiction reads in Koine Greek, "The Lord is equal to faith." This was a reference to the fact that two of the most theologically important words in Greek were equivalent. There are three types of Gematria. Today, the internet is filled with all kinds of Gematria calculators. There's so many different types. If you're clever, you can make the numbers say whatever you want. I knew it! Oh, wow. And now I have double the proof. Strained language and 666ing of politicians is the often hilarious hallmark of trivial Gematria. Sarah Palin? Religious Gematria restricts the practice to avoid manipulation. Practitioners study ancient sacred texts for inspiration or mystical insight. The Bible. Gematria started thousands of years ago when people didn't have our modern numbers. Back then, people used the letters of their alphabets as numbers. The two languages of the Bible, Hebrew and Greek, are both geometric languages. How they did this looks strange to us today. A classic example is the name for God, Elohim. God in Hebrew adds up to 86. Sometimes when we look, we see a sign of God. These numbers can connect many dots. This psalm has 576 Hebrew letters. So what? So 576 is 24 squared. This is the psalm in Hebrew as a square of letters. Do you see a cross? The cross equals 3,168. Kurios Jesus Christus equals 3,168. Lord Jesus Christ. That connects some dots. Another important name of God is Ruach Elohim. In modern Hebrew, Mispar Gadol, the Spirit of God is 860. 10 Elohims make a triangle, and the Trinity of God. Christians and Jews both say, Hallelujah. Hallelujah means praise the Lord. Skeptics of this type of gematria say there are too many mathematical methods to make it relevant. This list from Wikipedia, which is by no means exhaustive, are the various Jewish gematria methods. Technical gematria further restricts the practice by only using the historical standard and ordinal numerations. It looks for connections in science and mathematics against established patterns in the original biblical text. An example of a technical operation can be found once again using Elohim, the name for God. Then we might ask the question, what is the Greek word for God? Since Greek is the counterpart to Hebrew in the Bible. It is the root word for theology, which is the study of God. The Greek word for God is theos. In Greek, God equals 284. Since addition is the most basic of all mathematical operations, we would add these two sums together. Already we have an interesting result, since 3s and 7s could be part of the primary code of the Bible, the 3-7 code. The 3-7 code starts in the very first verse, Genesis 1:1. Here are some other examples, all from the first verse. Now let's add one more, since God likes to do things in threes. This time we'll use English, and see what we get. Here again we find an interesting result related to the 3-7 code, but now it is hidden. Hidden in the prime factors of 441. Prime factors are the most important feature of any number. They are its mathematical blueprint. Just like the factors of the first verse. More examples of the 3-7 code. Once again, all from the first verse.
If you've enjoyed this video,
DeWitt says, all written by man, so man likes to do things in
In
threes.
threes.
Hey, oh,
So, Mrs. J, what's your take?
hello. There
How
are
do
different
you?
types. There are different types of gematria, which is something that needs to be just referenced as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's 4 or 5 different types. You've got Arabic, Hebrew, Arabic, Hebrew. What else? I can't remember now. Give me a minute to have a think. Arabic, Hebrew, Greek.
Greek, yeah.
Oh, and Latin, which is us. Yeah. So they're there's just a few versions of gematria texts that have sort of been created over 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 years ago. It's mathematical equation. How I see it, it's mathematical equations because the flower of life, if you have the flower of life and you do the flower of life and it goes out and out and out, and it's all a mathematical sequence, and it all relates to it's been, I don't know whether it's been designed or not. You just is. You can connect it to Latin as well. Well, aren't we Latin? Isn't our alphabet Latin? I thought it was. Anyway, so I could just do it just then. Yeah, so you that's how and they use that as the footprint of the whole universe. So the whole universe is built on this footprint. And you just mentioned about the Fibonacci sequence and things like that. It's all related.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sort of mystical divination. Is that the right word? I can't remember the right word. I'm not good at words, my guys. And it corresponds with specific numerical sequences. We could make it. It could be anything, though. The thing that I'm finding that's going on. Yeah, the fabric of nature. Thank you.
That's what that guy was saying, wasn't it? You got the trivia part of it, where you can go on and you can write anything and find that number relating to the number that corresponds to, say, Jesus, the Messiah.
Yes.
And then you could write like Miss J is
Yeah.
the true Messiah, or Miss J is the king.
Yeah.
Or Miss J is this, and then if you find the same numerical number, then it's like, then you're just corresponding the number with a number and saying, then she must be something to do with Jesus.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I think it's more the religious aspect of, as that guy said, when you delve deep into sacred texts and trying to look the meaning of that text and what the numerical meaning was, and what was the shape that it was like. Was it a star? You know what I mean? They were talking in patterns. You know?
Yes. And I think that's how you look at how the pyramids were made, and you go right back, and I think the religion before Hebrew. This is my personal opinion on it. The religion before Hebrew, that ancient way of communicating, talking, created the methodology of how it is now and how we see it now. And as you rightly say, I mean, I could say, Mrs. J is wonderful, and it comes out, it says that I'm, that I am, or something. Right. Yeah, but if it was spelt, Mrs. Misses rather than Mrs, and of course that's English. So then I think, well, I'm doing this in English, and actually we should really be doing it in Hebrew. If it's Hebrew philosophy, then sure. I think me doing it as I'm Mrs. J, I don't think it works. I don't think it works. Yeah. That's my version of what I see anyway.
Sure. It's Hebrew mysticism, isn't it?
Yeah. Mathematical equations.
Oh, we got somebody else on here.
Hello, Cage.
Yeah, thanks for having me, everyone. I was summoned here. Talking about Gematria.
But
Okay.
earlier in the chat, you said you was sort of an expert in Gematria.
I'm definitely not an expert.
What?
I never said
I think he
that.
said he wasn't.
I've looked into it though.
You said he was.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
How do you? How So how do you understand Gematria? How is it exactly the same? Is what you're saying, Mrs. J and Tokes, is exactly the same thing, you know,
Sure.
using numbers to
Yeah.
translate.
Well, in the Hebrew context, really, what it is they say that God or whatever they believe God is created the universe through combining different Hebrew letters and numbers in a specific way. Right. So really, if you look into it, a good starting point, if you could pull up the calculator, would be the tetragrammaton, which equals 26. And you can go through, there's like 206 bones in the body. You move the 0, 26. There's like 26 bones in the hands. It gets deep. It even goes into like our anatomy and everything. And it just shows that, this language, the spelling that we're all using is a program that's a subconscious program that's being put onto people in order to formulate the reality, right? That's why it's called spelling. So the point of even knowing about the gematria or any of these things, or etymology really, or any of that word tumbling, breaking down words and meanings, is to understand, the program that's being put onto you, so then it no longer affects you, and you're no longer within that hypnotic state, through the words that we use, the spellings and all that.
Sure.
Here's a question. Oh right, look, I had a question, and the person is
I
behind.
think the thing with it though, there is, it's really complex, and there's sort of various interpretations from each religion. And if you go down the Arabic route or you go down the Latin route, it's going to come up with a different. It's not the Kabbalah, is it? Because the Kabbalah is different.
It's mostly a Greek and a Jewish thing, or Hebrew thing,
Yeah.
originally. But yeah, like to truly understand it, you'd have to use transliteration, whatever they call it, right, in order to really get deep into it. But even through the English, like English ordinal, right, like ABC 1, 2, 3, or reverse ordinal, where 26 is A, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, even that you can get a lot of connections with, like the number 26, for example, which is the tetragrammaton number.
Sure.
Right, that's directly tied into English.
Yeah.
26 letters in the alphabet, all that.
Yeah, I think Local said we'll pull the calculator up in a little while, just get a little talk about it. I think is that what you said, Local?
Yeah. Let's pull it up when you're ready. We'll pull it up. We've
I
got
think
another
also, are you going out there to find hidden meanings? Like that guy put in the beginning, there was the word, and the word was God, for example. That's whatever the first line in the Bible is. Using that.
It's in Genesis 26, actually, which is another 26.
And you use that, and you put that in, you're going to come up with your created answer. But the massive problem with that is that the Bible has been translated in however many times, and that is in English. And I think it's a bit cuckoo, to be fair, on that one. People are finding something that they're going out to find it, to make it there.
Yeah, there's a term for that. It's called apophenia.
There is a term.
Which you have to be careful with that, because the brain is structured to find connections in pretty much anything. So yeah, researching this stuff, you have to like remove your bias and really, if you see something that conflicts, you can't just ignore it, or just make random connections, apophenic connections, whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
We've got another guest here, and he connects all of these words with numbers. Audio Oracle. Hello.
Yes, friend. How you doing, man? You're right. Hi, everybody.
Yeah, good, good,
Hello.
good. So,
I'm doing
What's
really
up, man?
cool.
Good evening.
So
your
what's
number guy.
what's your take,
Your,
audio?
Oh, what's my take on it? Well, from coming across the subject in 2016 and then ongoing up until now, just noting stuff on the organic side. Obviously, I'm not. You'll use the term not balls deep when it comes to all the scripture stuff. Obviously, I know some stuff, but I'm the type of person I don't like when I get my brain too boggled down with this matrix with specific stuff. So I'll just catch certain patterns, obviously, because things you'll know if you're it doesn't mean you have to be a stickler for detail, but a little bit of paying attention, things on the hindsight or whatever, and then you'll pick up on patterns because again, life is about cyclic patterns, cycles, etc. So my point is when you say I'm finding the connection, as I say, I'm just showing what's already there. So again, it's not me, oh, I'm trying to pair the Queen's death because the Queen of England equals 140. I'm trying to pair that with when she died, which was 140 days. No, we already know
Right.
there's a rule of thumb that
Yeah.
goes around when it comes to activities, events, situations, celebrity deaths. Yeah, we noticed that there's a specific rule of thumb. If you look at maybe what the person was known for. Yeah, because remember, everybody's polarized a specific way in nature. That's why obviously certain people do specific stuff or like certain things, dislike certain stuff. But you'll come to find majority of those things, they will all have the same numbers. So the stuff you do like, you probably know, oh, right, that hobby I like, oh, those have those numbers. Oh, and I'm born on no one. My my numerology on that day or together with my life lesson, But my point is, going with just going through the news, you can definitely see there is a structure, a nefarious structure to just keep you, how would I say, chasing your own tail, none the wiser, TikTok challenge, doing dumb shit,
Yeah.
subservient, queuing up 2 meters apart, face mask on, basically, again, knowing this code, as I say, it's not a joke. So that's why people in my community can be like, okay, the Queen, look at her age. She's probably going to die 96, Freemason 96. She's probably going to die 140 days into the year or after her birthday because we know they like to do things around the birthday or certain stuff. So what happens? She does 140 days after her birthday. Queen of England equals 140. She dies 67 days from the now king, who was the prince at the time, and king equals 67. Freemasonry equals 67. So when you keep seeing a specific pattern, just like if you go on my channel or the one that's got 1,000 subs, I've got one called Journalism with a G. You'll find it with the links under the videos, whatever. But my point is, watch the video that I did 5 hours. Yeah, watch it. You take as long as you want. But my point is, get through the video, right? But my point is, know what I'm breaking down when it comes to just know in the patterns, regardless if it's we know the Jezebel order is behind Hamas and Israel, rehashed same stuff. The same gangs behind COVID, the same gangs behind the next variant. It's just the same stuff over and over again. But my point is, just knowing these specific patterns, again, it doesn't make me, it's because I'm trying to find it. No, I'm saying, okay, this keeps popping up, that keeps popping up. And as I say, even if I take away the crazy stuff like, the verses, as I just mentioned, Israel versus Hamas or whatever. My point is, half of these stabbings that I've been covering, they're not big stuff in the news. And I'm not saying everyone is not I'm not going to say that obviously everyone that's in the news that I've covered, as I've mentioned, some of them just going to be some bullshit amplified story that hasn't even got no foundation. There's probably no family, no nothing, but then there are other real stories. And then you're going to have bigger stories. And then obviously you're going to have some Allah Akbar running around with a knife, whatever. But my point is, beside the scripted shit, listen, there is definitely, as I keep explaining about waxing and waning, knowing how the stars work and stuff like that. They know all of that stuff. Why do you think that only taught you in school A, B, C, up to Z, whatever? That's why they don't teach you. That's why I know I'm very redundant saying this, but that's why they don't teach you about the elements and causality. I've said this a bazillion times.
So you're seeing it more like as like the 7 days in the week, right? Each day of the week represents a planet, right?
Yeah. So then I will know, not to cut you off, but just to then things like that, then we can know, okay, they're probably going to do something on that day. They're going to probably attribute something on a specific day with Caesar when he got stabbed, like stuff like that. And then you can begin to say, they'll probably relate something with basketball and LeBron James and King James in the Bible. They do that shit all the time, bro. They do it all the time, every other week. Yeah. Even that, I'm not saying it's a biblical one because I haven't looked at the biblical side, but even the ice skater, the ice hockey guy that I covered the other day, I don't think that was organic personally. But as I'm trying to quickly break off though, there is definitely an organic side. You know, I was just talking about the stabbing stuff. That's all I was trying to get to quickly and shut up. Then somebody else can jump in, ask questions or whatever, or say whatever you want to say. But my point is, there is definitely an organic side. I can give you personal testimonies all day. Granddad died last year. Well, but yeah, my grandma died this year. Granddad died the year before. From his birthday to when he died is 7 months and 3 days. So October 3rd to May 5th. He was a pastor all of his life. Pastor equals 73. Hugh, that was his name. Hugh equals 26. He was a man of God, right? God equals 26. Adam 26. Man created on the 26th verse of the Bible. You know, anatomy, bone, skeleton, grave, graveyard, 26, and so forth.
Letters in the Bible, though. There's only 24 letters in the Hebrew Bible. That's where
in
I'm
the English. And sorry, last thing, the abbreviation of Yahweh that also equals 26. So go figure. So God equals 26. The YHYW, whatever, the Yahweh, the abbreviation that also equals 26.
The tetragrammaton. That's what I was saying. 26 is a great starting point.
Yes.
The calculator.
Yes.
Start with the 26. Yeah.
And that's why it's important, as I broke down before. Remember, as you just brought up tetragrammaton, that's the old name for God in Hebrew, is tetragrammaton. Key part within that is grammar. So again, linguistics, language, Hegelian dialect. Like, think about what they like to do, play off the sides and stuff like that. But my point is, if you're not kind of versed in your own consciousness to have it like kind of go full circle, as I've been explaining recently, it's brickle brackle. You got a brick in your brain and it's going to be slightly compartmentalized, got some cognitive dissonance in there, even if obviously you might be slightly getting awake, but just be mindful, you know? That's what I'm trying to say, man, because what they've got at play here, the system of Groundhog Day that they've got going on, is batshit crazy beyond belief. Fucking hell.
Yeah, so how much of this do you think is you think they're purposefully planning these things on specific days and times
100%.
To harvest certain energy and shit, right?
100%. As I say, they know how to wax and wane. You don't know how to wax and wane, really and truly. You might learn a little something. Oh, we've got to put a little star chart and some astrotheology and yada, 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 and trying to do your thing. But obviously, you'd be much more amplified as a person in your being if they was truly doing for your benefit, if the advert was for your benefit, if the this, that was for your benefit. You know, it's just all garbage and poison.
The astrology thing, there's a great quote about that from J.P. Morgan, of all people. He's like, oh, millionaires don't practice astrology, billionaires do. And so they, even on specific times and dates and all that, to line it all up,
Yeah, they love to hold the big events on certain days, especially Saturn, you know what I mean? Because the black cube.
It's all Saturn, it's all Saturnian worship, bro.
Yeah. And Sunday as well, because remember they're heavy with the sun for sun worship. Obviously, they worship other deities and whatever else, but they're heavy with the sun worship. That's why you've even got the the IHS thing, like I can't remember what it's called now. Oh my god, it's on number 10 Downing Street. You know the sign, the Jesuit order. It's half of the sun thing of it. It's on number 10 Downing Street. If you look up Jesuit order, Society of Jesus, you'll see what I'm talking about straight away.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, you're bang on the money, man. Of course, that's why they will do stuff, and keep you in Groundhog Day. So whether it's every 19 years, they will fracture the fabric of your being. Whether it's 9/11, 19 years later, then you give you COVID. 19 years later, they got another plan already coming. You know what I mean? It's but then obviously in between that now, they're just going to keep us on edge, and doing a lot of crazy stuff. But as I say,
nice disclaimer you got there.
Accordingly, though, with the waxing and waning, that's all I'm trying to explain. So it's definitely something that's present and evident, and there's a preponderance of evidence from the Gematria community to back it up. And they're the ones giving it to us.
The waxing and waning that you're going back to is more like ceremonial magic, where you're invoking and banishing.
Sorry, say that one more time.
Invocation and evocation.
Yeah. That's like the waxing and waning. It's like ceremonial magic audio.
Definitely.
Like what they do in the Golden Dawn, and
they're invoking some next level egregors or
But
whatever
also,
they've got riddled in their
in their,
body.
Hey,
in their
bro,
mind,
I'm not
in
even
their
joking.
mind,
These motherfuckers,
yeah.
they'll have something appear in the temple. They'll have something appear, manifest into the room, materialize, if you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets deep, bro. I want to do that personally, but it
Okay,
happens.
you know about my experience. I've explained to you many a times.
Yeah.
I find it fascinating. I do. And I said with the brain injury, my memory on all of it has absolutely disintegrated. So I've been trying to rack my brains today for you, local, going, oh God, what are some of the stuff that you need to look at? But I think
was talking
26
earlier,
is an
yeah.
awesome place to start. And I also think looking at the Fibonacci sequence and what that does and how that relates to buildings, places, when you
Yeah.
look at things, places like the Houses of Parliament, that is built on a Fibonacci the Fibonacci sequence and the way in
Yeah.
which it's pointing, how many bricks and everything in it. When you have a look, there's some stuff online about it. It's very interesting. Just the House of Parliament itself, the building, and how that plays with the Gematria. Also, when I've done the Mason stuff and I've looked at the Mason buildings around here, the 33, the three of that, three of that and three of that, three of that, three of that and three of that, or 33 of that, 33 of that and 33 of that, and those specific numbers and the power of those numbers and what those numbers mean in ancient times. I think, as you say, I think things have been lost. I think
Or
skills
lost
have
in,
been
you're right. Sorry, lost in translation. Exactly. That's why in the
yeah
Bible, that's the part what I love, where it says, "Let's go down and confuse them with language." Right. So what did they do? They reset the whole grid. They said, "All right, let's try and propagate." Obviously, it's not everywhere, but obviously they like to propagate English, don't they? Right. So they've Gregorian calendar. Refreshed the land of Zion or whatever. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like they've reset the shebang. Babylon to little Babylon, London, if you know what I'm saying,
Mm.
and the Phoenicians and all that jazz and whatever's going on. But yeah, it is yeah. But as I say, just noting in it as it goes back into the fabric of reality and stuff like that. That's that point what we're trying to meet back with, right? In your consciousness. And that's what I say. What I think with what you just said, that little cut-off point, it's like they've done a little snip and you're like, okay, is there something I'm missing here? Like, okay, I'm just trying to get on with life and can't go down the street and be la 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 and shit. But it's like, okay, I can't really do that. It's
You
like,
don't
what
want
the
to go
fuck's
back
going
to
on?
La La Land. Come on.
No, not that type of la la land, but like just like happy and you know what I mean? Just your innocence, you can just, skip down the street. La 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 la, not la
Ignorance
la
is
land.
bliss, bro. That's how it is.
Yeah.
Local. I'm gonna have to
The
go,
more
my
you
love.
know.
Take it easy,
I was only popping up to
Miss
say hello
James,
and
Miss
say a quick
Jackson.
thing.
Take care,
All
Miss
Nice
right.
to
J.
meet you. Nice to meet
Yeah,
you.
big hugs, big hugs. Bye bye, bye bye.
One love,
See ya.
man.
Bye bye.
Take care.
Hummus.
Thank you, Miss Jack.
So I've got the calculator up, local, if you want to share it, and if people they want to put words in and show the audience what we're talking about here, or let the audience.
And as it was on my mind, just quickly, as you showed that thing with pi, if you
Sure.
type in 360, you should get 227. So if you type in 360, you'll get 227, which is of course 22 divided by 7 goes back into pi. And if you write out 22 divided by 7, you get 314. So go figure.
Sure.
There's one question. There's one question that I want to ask all of you guys. And the question is, how did you guys first stumble across Gematria?
Me personally,
Yeah.
I was looking it up because I used to read a lot of old books in numerology, and I was interested in also cryptology. So like I used to do this shit without even knowing what this was about, where I would write a set of numbers down to write a message out to somebody that they couldn't understand unless you knew the base code. I mean, this is a simple base code. We do it in cryptography. We've done it for years. I mean, like we can.
Yeah, it's called
have-
a pig cipher, a Masonic cipher.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Yeah.
So
And then
you
you
was
need the key.
reading and you
Yeah, you need the
stumbled
key.
across it, right? Okay. And what about you, Audio Oracle?
It came to me at the same time as True Earth in 2016. Again, I was putting off True Earth for about 8 to 10 months, nearly a year. It kept popping up, and I was like, what is this nonsense? And to be fair, I tuned out of looking at conspiracy stuff for about the last 2 years at the time. And then all of a sudden, my friend was like, "Oh man, have you looked in to True Earth?" And as I went to look into that, Gematria popped up. And then, as I explained to you before, local, how that fuses in anyway with the 93 million miles away. Why they say Jesus dies on the 93rd day of the year, Crucifix 93, God's Son 93, Nazareth 93.
Number of the OTO, Saturn and Kalima 93, Aleister Crowley 93, all that.
Yeah, Philima, yeah, exactly. So yeah, I found that at the same time with that, when I found the Gematria, with the True Earth, and then that was it, man. Simultaneously, ever since it was in October 2016, and I haven't looked back since, man. Every day, man. Literally every day. And I knew it was, as I said, I knew it was definitely something within, minutes. I was gonna say days, but I'm gonna have to be honest. Like sometimes you find something, you're like, okay, it's onto something, but then obviously you're looking just to see, okay, is this thing gonna let up or is it gonna show? And it's like, okay, this thing is genuine. It's for real. All right.
Let's go. Let's start with a couple ones that you like. The base route, then. So you were talking about 26, was it?
Yeah, 26, right? So God is 26, like you mentioned earlier.
Right? 26, yeah.
Man was created in the 26th chapter, right? There's 206 bones in the body, so remove the 0, 26. Hands, put hands. I'm pretty sure hands is 26.
46.
Yeah, 26 right there. Reverse
it
forward,
is, yeah,
right?
hands. Fucking hell,
Yeah.
forgot that one.
Bones is 26. Temple, bones.
Yep.
Temple.
Yeah, remember that one.
Coincidence equals 26.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
I like
temple is
that. Matty England, good one.
Oh yeah, the temple is, yeah. Okay, yeah, coincidence is 26, right? It's all a big coincidence, apparently.
To the untrained eye, yeah. To the untrained eye. Oh, what are you talking about those silly numbers on 9/11? Oh, it doesn't matter that, when the timing that it got constructed and AT&T making it 9/11, and then when
Spelt
it
it
came down
incorrectly.
33 years later, oh, that doesn't matter. On 9/11. It's just a
Spell it
coincidence.
right.
Try everyone's names on the panel. So try local experimentalist first.
Right, guys, I got to pop out and come back, so I'm going to come back and jump back in if you're still on, yeah?
Yeah, man.
Local. Yeah, sorry to jump in and jump out, guys, but yeah, if you're still on in about 20 minutes, I'll be back, yeah?
Yeah, man.
All right, cool. Nice one, brothers. Nice one. Take
Thanks
it
for
easy,
jumping
tribe.
on, man.
Wait, you
Yeah,
see,
thanks for having me on.
I'm
I'm sorry if I was rabbiting on there. It's just to just pack in a few little bits so you can get a panoramic view of what I'm saying very quickly and sufficiently. That's why I talk kind of quick sometimes, yeah. And to be fair, I've so had enough of even saying what I'm saying because I've said it a bazillion times.
I feel you, bro.
All right.
I can imagine.
All right.
Take care, man.
All right, bro. But yeah, you see hands are 26. There's 26 bones in each hand, too, which is kind of odd. 26 characters in our alphabet. There's even ones like, for example, like, go put Jesus and fucking Lucifer in it and put light. They all equal the same shit. All right.
AMJ in the chat. Yeah.
74.
I think Gematria is a load of waffle. It's not gonna
the 56 too.
make us any happier. But yeah, it's the discussion for this evening.
Jesus and Lucifer are the same. I guess I fucked up with the light. It's not waffle. The English version is kind of waffle. Like you really need to understand Hebrew to really do Gematria. 74 again. Like Lucifer and Jesus in English.
Why is it that Elohim, 20 of them or something, or whatever it was, equals a triangle, or 7 of them equals a triangle. That triangle is everywhere. Why is it everywhere? Symbolized everywhere, like for devil worshipping and Illuminati and all of that stuff. Freemasonry.
What do you mean triangle? Just a regular triangle? Or are you talking about the pentagram?
Yeah.
Like a pentagram or pinnacle? Like 2 triangles?
I'll just hit a few there. Adam being 26. Elohim being 26.
62 reverse here. 26 again. Man and Adam both 10 full reduction.
Yeah.
Elohim means magistrates.
The L is a direct reference to Saturn. Dude.
Right.
This is why you have
R-E-N.
elite, elect. All
Right.
the angels
Rene
names,
Cruz.
they all end with L, right? Like Raphael, Michael, or it's always L.
What is
Direct
that?
link to Saturn.
Token,
L.
right? R-E-N Cruz.
T-R. As in a cruise, like cruising.
Okay.
No. R-E-N space K-R-U-S-E.
K-U-R-U-S-C.
No. K-R-U-S-E. S-E, yeah. E, letter E. That's it. Okay.
Ren Cruz. Okay.
What is it? 111. Oh.
Was it 1M? Fuck me, I can't fucking remember, man.
It's 2 M's, I'm pretty sure. Isn't it?
I think that is right. 166. Anyway, I mean, you know what I mean? The other guy seems to like, and there's UK's like Bones, Hands 26, God 26. You're linking things through the example of the Bible of when God created man.
Yeah.
The body is thy temple, as it says in the Bible, 26. I don't know where Local Experimentalist is. He's like 233. I think he's completely lost down the rabbit hole.
He's fucked.
What's age case? Age case.
Rene Cruz says everything that is 111 is 666 in Sumerian.
Yeah.
There's definitely something to it. A lot of this stuff you're gonna find is a bunch of bullshit, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. What's death? 38. Life. I don't know. I'm just trying to see whether it's like trying to reflect it back and forward, being the opposite of what it is. So I'm assuming that
there's a few of those actually. Yeah, let me think.
God 26 is going to be the same as dog, right? 20. Well, they always say is that dog's the best, man's best friend,
Try friend and enemy. See if there's a reflection in that.
Friend.
You got enemies 26.
Yeah, enemy's 26, right? Don't trust God, he's your enemy.
26 and 62 and 26. And life is mirrored like that too in the English ordinal of full reduction.
I don't know, man. I really don't know. I think, like you said, like we said earlier, it's very much more for for Hebrew.
Yeah.
It's more for like looking into the sacred texts and stuff to find the, how it was written. Like I said, like I was saying earlier, like it's a code. It's a cryptic code. And whether you've got the true, how do I put it, the true like where A, B, C, D, E, and so E's 5. If you have a sort of code base where like 5 actually now is going to be A, so you always remember that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will always reverse itself to back to the beginning. So now A becomes 5, and E becomes 1, and then you do the same for them. So then you got a code base. So unless you know the actual code base, you will never be able to work out the information that you was receiving.
Yeah, like a key.
Mm-hmm.
Audio Oracle says, remember, all cards go back in the same deck.
All who?
All cards go back in the same deck.
Oh yeah, man. Just like any game that you play, the Monopoly board, everything goes back in the box at the end of the day. No one owns fuck all.
Mm.
You worked the whole of your life to get a mortgage, buy a house. Unfortunately, when you die, nothing, you don't take anything with you. You either cleverly leave it behind to family if you've had kids, otherwise the state takes it.
Is it? Are we live? I think we're living in a matrix. So once we die, we're born into another system of the matrix.
You had Matrix. Oh, there you go. New Matrix and the Matrix is 46 and 53.
What about simulation? $43 again. Oh no, but that was a 46. I thought
Can you ask the meaning of Stokes? The guy's profile picture is a
you have to look at the.
sequence. Forgot the name of it.
Fibonacci, innit?
What's he saying?
Fibonacci.
I didn't hear you, man. Sorry, Local.
The message that I highlighted.
Audience and rate script.
I can't see the screen. I'm looking at the calculator. I can't do both.
Fibonacci.
Fibbona.
Oh, Fibbo.
NACCI. 2 C's.
CC. Right, Fibonacci. 64. 46 with the new Matrix. Sorry, the Matrix and the new Matrix.
And the new Matrix, all 46.
Yeah. And also, yeah.
Oh yeah, look. AMJ says no one can say what happens to what happens when we
60.
die, because
And look,
no
and
one
the
has ever come back to tell us only one person. Only one
and also
person
has
is
a
Jesus. Yeah.
it has a 64 too, which is 46 reverse with Fibonacci. With the Matrix in it too.
Oh yeah. 46.
Audio said script. Like put a script in.
Right. Propaganda, and global Earth.
Okay, script 8531 41.
Doesn't match.
Good.
Thought that one would match for some reason.
Prob. Is it Anda?
Propaganda. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Propaganda.
It's with an A, isn't it? Oh, fucking hell. My spelling.
Yeah. PAGANDA. Yeah.
Age, you're breathing weird, bud.
I know, age.
Because I'm like, where the microphone is, it's right down near my fucking mouth, man. I need to
You
sit
need
like
an
that.
inhaler or something, man.
Hey, bro, I have to tell you age because you like heavy breathing on the mic.
I've been hearing it the whole time. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, propaganda plus global Earth equals laugh out loud. So what about you, Cage? How did you come across Gematria? How did you stumble across it?
Long time ago, I was looking into what happened to Token. His internet crashed.
Oh, right.
I was
So you
looking into the Zohar and the Talmud a long time ago. And stumbled across it.
all right. So how did you so what importance did Gematria have to what you was looking at?
Oh, it's all encoded, like the Zohar and Talmud and the Torah, Bible, and all that kind of stuff. It's all heavily encoded,
Oh, right.
especially the numbers in there. So yeah, looking into that kind of stuff, like then I got into like Kabbalah and the Kabbalah and all that. Gematria came up. Man.
Interesting. Well, this is the first time well, I've known about it for a bit, but this is the first time I've probably got involved with Gematria today.
I put a really good video up on there if you want to play a bit of it if you want. Another guy from the UK, he gets deep into it. He explains a lot better than I can. So.
I can't share. Can you share it on yours? Are you using a computer?
Yeah, I have my computer on. I can. Yeah, I could do it. Give me a minute. I'll fire it up for you.
How long is it? Just a few minutes, yeah.
Hold on, let me check. Yeah, there's a few. There's one that's a few minutes. An introductory thing to it. Pause it and give a little commentary. Whatever. What happened to Token though? Is the internet cut out or something?
I got done, man. They cut me off.
They got you, bro.
That's why these fucking cunts won't do it. They make me do it. Trying to put me out there, Age. I know what you're doing, bro. Thanks, bro.
Odin, Thor, son of Odin, and Loki, son of Odin.
Let's go back to the window.
All politicians' names equal to 666 or 333 or something like that, innit? All the politicians' names.
I doubt that.
Yeah. Oh, we should try.
I dropped it. I dropped that link in the private token. You should pull that up if you want, and we can comment on it. The guy can explain it better than us, I think.
Yeah, you want to do that for a minute, Local?
Yeah, sure, man.
All right. Let me just stop this thing.
So when it gets into the 26, which is a good starting point, which we've already said a lot of the material in there, but
oh, it's yeah.
numbers don't lie.
Yeah, I've got it. It's the same one that I had loaded up earlier.
Yeah, I'm streaming this to my channel too, so I'm gonna drop a link in there for people. Channel is Local Experimentalist. Search it up. I'm gonna drop the link too.
Can someone if you can comment in the chat and I can share everybody's channels in the chat. Paige, if you can comment in the chat and I can click your name.
Yeah.
English language for what it really is. And today we are going to be focusing primarily on Gematria. And I'm going to try and make this stuff as clear as possible for everyone. Now, the last video we touched on the fact that the English Empire the English language was standardized at 26 characters after the fall of the Roman Empire. However, what we didn't ask is why the number 26? Out of all the numbers, why was that particular one chosen to be the specific amount of letters in the English language? Well, it has everything to do with scripture, of course, much like everything else. But this 26 relates specifically to our relationship with God or the divine. Now, as you can see here in the Bible, Genesis 1:26, man is created in the 26th verse. And this is the building block of what we're going to be working from. But first of all, what I must note, this is of great importance, and it's that the 26th prime number is 101. And I've touched on primes before and their importance. But this is the one you need to know for now. So the 26th prime number is 101, which is 11. Okay, because you just take the 0 out. And we all know 11 is a master number for a variety of reasons. One of the most important being that the 11th Sephiroth on the Kabbalistic Tree of Life. And I've broken this down already in my video on Crowley and the AA. And I also show you how Darth Vader from Star Wars represented the 11, or the 11th Sephiroth, Darth. And if you're interested in learning about that, then please go back and watch that video. But yeah, 26 prime is 101, 101 is 11, it's a master number, so we've got that relation right there straight away. So what do we have? We have man created in the 26th verse, Genesis. Now, the Hebrew God of the Old Testament, Yahweh, which was really Saturn, but we will stick with Yahweh for now. This was the unspeakable name of God, this right here, and it was called the Tetragrammaton. And each of these individual letters in Hebrew sum to 26. So we have Yod, Hey, Vav, and Hey. Again, it reads left to right, okay? 10, 5, 5, 6. You can see the Hebrew alphabet here. This is the totality of the tetragrammaton, 26. Not only that, but if we write out God in English in the most basic cipher, this also sums to 26 in the alphabetic order, where A is 1 and Z is 26, as you can see right here. Whilst body
26
sums
chaos.
to 62, which is the inversion. 26, 62, you see that? So these numbers obviously resonate with the same frequencies because they have the same digits. So with that being said, we have man, who is created in the 26th chapter, and both the God of the Old Testament and the title God have the same numeric value, which is 26, along with body, that which God created out of an image of himself. Remember, it was apparently God who made our body in his image, in the image of 26, you see? And you'll see these inversion numbers playing out a lot, which is a further testament to the dual nature of our reality, to be completely honest with you. So before we continue here, let's just stop and establish what we know. So evidently there is a clear relation here, numerically, between man, the body, and God. But we're not done. As you can see here, the New Testament has a total of 260 chapters. Remove the 0, that is another 26. And not only that, but the Greeks, who were, if you didn't know, sorry to spoil it for you, but the authors of the New Testament, also sums to 26. The Greek mystery schools, I mean by that. But yeah, Greek also sums to 26. I mean, coincidence? Maybe. Maybe, let's continue. Remember I said 26 relates to the connection between man and God. If we check our own body, you can see it has 206 bones. Take the 0 again, so 26. Much like how bones sums to 26. And the two appendages that are responsible for holding up our body both have 26 bones in them, which is our feet or foot. Now we can take this idea even further. Corinthians 6:19 states that the body is a temple. And that is a common belief amongst many religions. However, if we look here, we can see that temple also sums to 26. I mean, that alone should be enough to show you here that there is definitely something, going on. Anyway, let's press on. Some more relevant hits with the 26. So, following the belief that we're gods and we're made in God's image and God creates, so in turn we create. We create with our hands, which have 5 fingers on each, which together sum to 10, or the tetraces, which was the God according to Pythagoras. So it seems fitting that both hands and the particular digits that make the hands unique, that being our opposable thumbs, both, as you can see, sum to 26, 26, 26. Again, bringing us back to this relationship with God, the 10 fingers, and the 26, the numerical value, which we now know represents our physical body, or for lack of better words, our temple. So in the previous video, we discussed how language conditions our reality based on the vibrational frequencies that are produced when we speak. In turn, each word carries an energetic weight that serves to shape the very foundations of the reality that we experience. Hence, if that's perverted, then our reality is perverted. And the English has been perverted, let me tell you that. Hence the term spelling. Now, with what I've just shown you in mind, if 26 relates to our temple, then it only seems fitting that both read and spell sum to 26 as well, as you can see here. We read spells in the form of sentences which corrupt our temple, all 26 related. Spells, read, temple, i.e. body. Now, what I really want to get into this presentation is how the 26 is used as an archetype to subvert our consciousness and our higher self. First of all, we need to ascertain what an archetype actually is. So, an archetype can be defined as the original pattern or model from which all things of the same kind are copied, or which they are based. A model of first form, a prototype. Okay, so unbeknownst to you and the majority of the population, the powers that be have been using archetypes to manipulate the vast majority since the beginning of time. And it's not difficult to see once your eyes are clear. No matter what class you're born into, no matter what geographical location you live in, archetypes seem to transcend all cultural barriers. All types of cultural barriers, and consequently, they're seeped into the very foundation of our consciousness. But archetypes are there to distract you from your true self and to convince you that what you see on TV or what you read in a book or what you see online is what you actually want to be. And as time has passed, these archetypes have transformed from a pantheon of deities who had temples erected in their veneration to people trying to live by the laws of these particular deities and actually manifest them through their own actions. Now we're in the 21st century, we have this sort of same relationship going on, but it's with the celebrities now. So celebrities who have millions of followers online, and people are vicariously living their life through them, hanging on to their every word, trying to emulate every single thing they do. I mean, just go on Instagram. It's not difficult to see. It's quite sick, actually. And this relationship between each archetype can kind of be identified as a type of macrocosm slash microcosm. And what that means is essentially that the part reflects the whole, or, you know, as above, so below. That's another axiom that talks about the macrocosm and macrocosm relationship. So the heavens reflect earth, or God reflects man, or these so-called celebrities apparently reflect us, even though they're nothing like us. I mean, they're normalized to make you feel like close to them and whatnot. That's why they've got all these magazines like Heat and Closer to make you feel closer to these celebrities, give you all these stories about the fake shit that's happening in their life, so you can be like, oh yeah, that happens to me too. I'm just like XYZ, who's a celebrity. I'm okay. Yeah, you're not okay. Stop basing the success and happiness of your life on what you see on Instagram or on the TV, because that is not the way forward. I can assure you. It's a very circular, very, very circular way of thinking that is only going to lead to you being taken away further from your true self.
That's a very interesting point. I do agree on that.
Yeah, it's true. And yeah, you see, he breaks it down a lot better. See all the 26. You come on, the tetragrammaton. You have to admit there's something there. You know, I don't think that shit is act like. I don't believe in the coincidences in general. I'm talking.
Sure. Yeah. It's just like I'm saying more like the celebrity waffle, like where kids like worship these celebrities.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's energy trap, pretty much. Dark magic. Really go into it. And they're just being used as pawns, anyways. You know.
So I clicked the wrong button. Do you want to put the video back on? Or is that it?
I've got it. I'm just saying, I feel like trying to
Yeah, his internet's waffling again.
Oh, right. Oh, it's gone.
He was getting too close.
We're getting too deep. I swear, sometimes when I get
No.
real deep, like sometimes I get real deep, like even in conversation, it's like the most important thing I've ever said, and like I probably shouldn't even say, and then it just literally glitches and no one can hear it. It's like perfect timing every time.
Here we go. Effing hell no.
Yeah, the
Oh, there we
fucking
go,
internet
Batman.
keeps. Just saying, the internet keeps waffling me, man. Told you, I'm a scapegoat for these fuckers, local and age. Bastards. I know the fucking. I don't know who's fucking doing it.
They're watching, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that point going back to that, where like women like buy beauty magazines to look good and make them feel that like they're too fat or something. You know what I mean? Or fucking hell. You know what I mean? Age, like, well, you know about it, Age, because you buy all them beauty magazines still, don't you?
Yeah. I've got a massive collection.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
because
Vogue.
women are the majority consumers of products like that. So you can. There's someone in business called the pink tax, bro. You can look into it, and pretty much basic things for women. They're in smaller sizes and like way more expensive. Why? Because they consume it more often and they're brainwashed in order, to be the consumer. It's all about money, really.
Planned
Manipulate.
obsolescence, isn't it? It changes every so often.
Mhm.
They'll bring out like thick heels one year, and then the next year it'll be thin heels, and then
Yeah.
that's one example.
Yeah. Or even the subliminal fucking waffle when you go into a store and you're listening to you're walking around, you're buying your shit, you don't realize that fucker's on the fucking antenna like, welcome shoppers, like go to aisle 3, there's a special deal on today, and you don't need it, but you're gonna get it because it's on a deal. Right?
Yeah, they don't even put clocks in like big malls and supermarkets.
No. They don't want you
They
to know what
purposely
time it
design
is.
it like that.
Yeah. They want you to keep walking around. Like I say to my wife, I'm like, look, she wants to go to the store. Like, I'm like, okay, sure. Have you got your list? She goes, no, I know what I need to get. I said, no, look, man, I've been there before. I want you to have a full list on your phone in the note thing. So when we go in, we're not window shopping in the fucking freezer section or the fucking fridge section. You know what I mean? I'm going to go in and get what the fuck I need to get and get the fuck out. I fucking hate that shit when they go around with the trolley, go down the aisle, keep going to every aisle, having a look,
I like that. You might
But they
stumble
changed the
across
supermarket
something.
round as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, exactly.
That's part of obsolescence.
Right? Just to fuck you around.
Because they
So
don't
you end
want
up
people
doing the
like
aisle.
buying the same shit every week and it comes to the same amount of money every week. They want it
Well,
to keep going up
you
every week.
You end up going down the wrong fucking aisle that you thought that was there, then you see something that you didn't need and you buy it anyway.
Well, everything's strategically set up in stores like grocery stores for that exact purpose, really.
Yeah.
So do you reckon Gematria is like the ancient way of controlling the language so that people can, I don't know, be good slaves, I suppose, back then?
Pretty much, yeah.
I went up to central London with Danny a few years ago, and he was holding a sign saying, "Don't buy anything for Christmas." Did anyone listen? No.
Did anyone wear condoms on Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
Maybe he gave out a few.
He did give a few out, telling people wear a condom, don't have kids, And the best one, though, was that oil one, though, bro. That tickled me when he's standing there saying, "What are you doing?" He goes, like, "We've got cars here and you're stopping them. Like, they're using more fucking oil. What is the point? You never thought this through. What are you doing out here?" That was brilliant. Shame you're not like Danny Local, man. You'd have loads of subscribers now.
No, man. I'll probably have a following, a cult. Who knows?
I know, but you'll get there someday, man.
Someday, yeah.
Yeah.
Sunday around
Oh,
the
I've
corner.
already read it. I've already read it. The Gematria. I've seen it. Really.
Yeah. Always get the good cards.
Yeah. So yeah, so like the history of Gematria, the Gematria codes, different methods, values to names. Have you looked at your own numerical values for your real names? Obviously, don't say it on here. Your name.
No.
No.
I've looked into. I'm
You?
33.
Did you know?
Yeah.
Do you know that what tree times tree is? It's a forest.
3 times 3.
Yeah.
Of course it would be. It's a tree in a tree, huh?
33.
Buy one, get a tree. I mean, get one free.
Did you buy one? You get one free.
But that guy cracked it up in one advertisement. Buy one, get a
You get the
tree.
2 for 1.
Oh, buy 2, get one. Yeah, get one free. Yeah. Okay, now back to the 3.
24 hours always. 2 for 1.
It's funny. I think it was D Witt said right at the start of the show that humans like to do things in threes. It's weird. I've always done things in fours.
Fours.
Like when I was a kid, it was really weird. I used to have to do things in fours. Like for instance, if I turned a light switch on, I'd have to do it another 3 more times. I don't know. I've grown out of it now, but I used to do shit like that. And
I know that. I used to do similar things, like sit down, like at a bus stop and look up at the windows, like of like a school or whatever, and count the fucking windows, right?
yeah.
And then I look over
used to do
somewhere
that.
else, and I'd have to count that, and it would have to match. Everything had to match. I can't step on a crack. I can't step on a crack on the pavement. I couldn't step on the fucking.
If you did, you'd have to step on another like 3 more. Say that was my
3 more to get rid of the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's OCD. That's like OCD. That's a subconscious program that's being built into your mind, which I think this whole gematria and language and etymology, if you look into it, is like the whole point behind it. It's to literally create and shape your reality through a code being injected into the hard drive, into the system.
4 wanks in a row. Oh man.
What's the other old waffle? Fucking don't walk under a ladder. Don't smash.
Audio. The link for the panel is pinned. It should be pinned. Refresh your chat.
Talking, your mic was cutting out.
Yeah, it's my internet, man.
Yeah, superstitions, right? The black cat.
Black
the
cat.
Walking.
I've got 2 black cats now that live with me, bro, in this shack.
I got 3.
You got 3 black cats.
3. The number 3.
See what I mean? How many lives do they have?
Isn't it? Cats have 9 lives, isn't it?
Yeah. We turn it upside down, it becomes 6, right?
Yeah.
And you said you had 3 cats?
That's 9.
6, bro.
in linguistic programming, like like NLP, which is also kind of related to the Gematria stuff. Like 3 words, like it's the rule of 3, for example. Like location, location, location. You're saying it 3 times, but there's 3 different meanings to it when you actually think about it. It's being put into your mind in a way. Or if you can say things 3 times, or in bases of 3 in order to have like a greater effect on the subconscious mind.
Waffle, waffle, waffle.
Yeah. See, now I'm seeing like 3 different types of waffles here, not just one.
This time. Okay, cool.
You just joined, man. I can't fucking see. He's got the.
Yeah, just joined. Yeah, nice one. I was having some trouble before.
Right.
Thanks for dropping the link.
Yeah, get the Discord link audio, man. You should join, bro.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm
man.
gonna get it. I've got space. That's why I didn't have it before. So I didn't have any
It's there.
space.
It's in the back chat.
Is it in the back chat? Let me grab that. Nice one.
The back chat.
Yeah, let me copy and paste that because the last time, or copy and save, excuse me. All right, let me save that on the typewriter thing there. The little save board, or the copy and paste board, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, I'll download Discord after this instantly. And who mentioned the Talmud before? I think it was the American guy. Was it Cage?
I'm Canadian, yeah.
Oh, my bad. My grandparents used to live out there, who I mentioned before, who passed away just in the last year. My grandma and granddad. But yeah, they was in Toronto for many years.
I'm from Toronto, born and raised.
Yeah, Toronto. Yeah, I've been to
They're out there?
Toronto, Ottawa, Niagara Falls, and all that jazz. Back in the day. Not since they've legalized all the crack smoking and stuff. I have no idea what the fuck. What the fuck's going on now?
Man, I'm telling you, it's crazy.
Yo,
it's not a joke.
That's why I said earlier, it's batshit crazy times. But yeah, carry on. What are you saying? It is crazy times, man.
You're mentioning the Talmud, though. Right?
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, I just wanted to mention quickly. Whoever mentioned the Talmud before, you may or may not have come across this, but basically the passage Baba Kamar 113a, you probably know this, where it states in a legal setting they can lie to you. What's interesting, for those that didn't know this, if you write all words or most words pertaining to lying, like so if you got divorce, probably from lying, politics, politicians like to lie, green screen, mainstream. If you even write out the word for dishonesty, that even equals 113. But there's loads of them. Illusions, not factual, not true, bullshit. Yeah, they're all equal 113. So it's very interesting. So my point is just quickly, it just shows that this is definitely a thing that's been constructed for a craft to do and deploy a specific thing, for the none the wiser lot. They treat us like peasants and spray the skies and shit and put us on lockdowns, you know what I mean? And have us fighting their wars or whatever. Whether it's on the local strip, gangbanging, all wars, as I keep saying, it's no difference to me, man. It's like the same type of shit, you know what I mean? You've got all this prideful flag on your fucking street, but you're still missing the bigger picture. Do you know what I mean? It's like, fuck it out. Crazy how they've got people, man.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, man. They've got people exactly where they want them, and they're doing it because they can do it. You can't do fuck all about it. Protesting is not going to change anything.
Yeah.
Bro, they're like, it's like an animal. It's like an animal in a fucking farm trying to protest that they're about to get sacrificed and in the slaughterhouse. What the fuck? They look at you. They literally, you're goyim. You're a fucking animal. You're a number. That's it.
Yeah. Literally. Yeah.
You're all.
And that's why. Yeah, that's why, as I say, man, just get your enjoyment. Obviously, catch some of the tribe members on your vacation in your current, incarnation, and keep it moving because.
I said you're right because, you travel around like I'm a good traveler, and you travel around, you meet certain people, and you either touch base with them or, if it's if it's working, you know, like you're all on the same, like not everyone's on the same level, as you said earlier. I seen your chat what you were speaking about. I
All
didn't
right, yeah,
in the private chat, but I know exactly where you're going.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, it's like I like to call it the Knights of the Round Table. You know, like-minded people coming together, trying to work this shit out. You know?
Oh yeah, definitely trying to make some sense, but
Sure.
not trying to be boggled down with too much. Because as I say, you don't want too much of
not too
the
much
weight.
fucking idiocy, like, or like, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
carrying all that weight with you. You know what I mean? Like, we want to just like
yeah,
get rid of that shit. Like, let's, you
yeah.
know,
As I say, obviously, it may get you on certain days or certain times. You know, whether it's once or twice or a few times here and there in a year or in a couple of years. Because the shit's real, you're living in it. So obviously, you might be like, for fuck's sake, you know what I mean? It might get the better of you, but at least you're on path of
right?
where the notions are taking you, you know what I mean? At least you've got your sensory indications in your body to be like, okay, boom, 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 rather than you've given away your senses and you're just a Zombieland variant walking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice to meet you, Audio, bro. I think I've seen you about
Yeah.
before.
I was thinking, because I remember we had one English guy that was in America, but I don't think he's in the chat today, is he? Remember that guy that was on my channel? And then we had the other funny guy that came, and we had the whole what was it? The menopause. Remember we had the menopause joke going on? Fuck, that was hilarious, local. Anyway, you'd have to catch the stream I did with these lot probably about 3 months ago or something like that. I haven't watched it back, but I just remember some of the little bits. But yeah, it's quite funny. But yeah, as I say, man, you definitely touch base. You know that sometimes as well, you meet somebody, but then it feels like I'm not saying that we haven't crossed paths before, but sometimes you meet somebody and it feels like, oh, I feel like I know you from before or something, but you ain't actually met them before, like, because you're on
This
that same page, right? You
is
resonate quite the
exactly how
same
it
type of
works,
thing.
bro. This is how it works. I
Yeah,
promise you that, man.
exactly. This is it, man. I tell ya.
So what you saying, local? You shutting off? What you done now?
Yeah, man. I think we've touched on the basics of gematria.
Yeah, and as I
Thank
say, check some on my playlist there. There's videos, there's current stories. I've just done Nicola Bully follow up today. You can see the bullshit that is that story. It's just like, really? Is this the bullshit that they're giving you? I mean, come on. Who believes this trash?
The
Absolute
what
bullshit.
story? The which
As I
story?
say, some stories are genuine, but Nicola Bully, I don't believe that story. I think that story is complete
Nicola
bullshit.
Bully. I've never heard that story.
Yeah, with the river, the woman that went missing in the river. And then today they updated it and said, oh, the diver, apparently the
Yeah.
police ignored his calls because he said,
Oh, yeah.
I found the body 6 minutes in. And it's funny because Nicola equals 27. She goes missing on January 27th, but on February 7th, 27, he says he dived for 6 minutes and found Nicola. I mean, come on. Not to mention the rest, but you see it all in the video. I'll put it out today go on the live tab. I did it on the live stream earlier today.
Have you put his link out there, local?
Yeah. I
Nice.
just did
Thanks
it now
again
as
for
well.
that. Nice one.
And
Thank you.
Cage's as well. And Toes.
Yeah.
And Mrs. J's. And
Yes,
Cage's.
everybody.
And Ages.
I want them all. Treat that shit like fucking Thanos glove. I want all the fucking. You get me?
It was a great conversation, though, guys. Thank you for having me. We dipped our toes a bit into it. There's a lot more to it than we covered here. I recommend anyone listening do your own research. If you want to interest you. And yeah, thank you guys for having me. Much love, everybody.
Thank you guys
you, man.
for popping on.
Yeah.
One love, man.
One
I'll
love.
be in the voice on
In the
Discord.
Yeah, I'm gonna download Discord as well now.
All right, man. One love. Take care, bro.
Right. Yes, man. Wholeness, love, wholeness. Cool.
Peace out. Peace.
Yes.
Take care, guys. Thank you all for jumping on. Age case.
Nice one,
What are we
Michael.
talking about? What are we talking about on the next show?
I don't know, man. We'll have to figure it out. The philosophy and history of the WWF. Fuck knows. No, I'm joking. I'm gonna have to figure one out.
World
Ask
Life
people.
Funding. Worldwide funding.
The next show is the 33rd show, isn't it? So
The 33rd show. Wow.
Yeah,
Um,
we'll have to make it.
okay.
I think we've done Freemasonry, haven't we?
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have to have a think. But yeah, peace out, man. Have a good week. Well, I'll come in the Discord in a minute anyway. Take it easy, man.
All right, man. Thanks for this evening, and we'll catch you all again on the next discussion. Take
Yeah,
care,
man.
everyone.
Take care, man.